It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? That a single sheet of paper could somehow fix your entire life. But before you scroll past or click away, just pause for a moment and really think about it. How many days have slipped by? Not because you were lazy, but because your brain felt foggy, scattered, overwhelmed by a million small demands before the day even began. You start with the best intentions. Maybe a mental to-do list, maybe a half-hearted plan. But by lunchtime, your energy's shot. Your focus is gone. And the only thing you've really accomplished is putting out fires that never should have been yours to begin with. Now imagine this, one sheet, sitting on your desk, no apps, no pings, no complicated system, just ink and paper. And yet, this one page gives you more mental clarity than a $200 productivity course. It doesn't just tell you what to do. It reminds you who you are, what matters, and how you actually want to live. Because sometimes the difference between feeling overwhelmed and feeling in control isn't hustle. It's visibility. And that's what this is really about. Let me show you how one page can change everything. I know. It really sounds like one of those too good to be true productivity hacks you've probably heard 100 times before. Fix your life with just one sheet of paper? Come on, right? But let me be absolutely clear. What you're about to see isn't some over-designed bullet journal layout with 47 colored pens, or a rigid schedule that assumes you wake up at 5 a.m. and run marathons before breakfast. Nope, this is different. These are deceptively simple one-pager tools. And when I say simple, I mean it. Most take 5 minutes or less to set up. But the impact? Honestly, it's hard to overstate. When I started using them, I didn't just feel more productive. I felt lighter. My morning stopped being a swirl of half-decisions and distractions. I finally saw what mattered. And more importantly, I started sticking with it. These tools didn't just help me plan better, they helped me live better. So grab a pen or open a fresh doc, because this isn't about doing more, it's about seeing clearly. Let me walk you through 5 one-page tools that can shift how you think, how you work, and how you feel. And the best part? You can start tonight. Most people start their day in a way they'd never intentionally plan. They wake up, reach for their phone, and within seconds, they're gone. Gone into a rabbit hole of emails, messages, news alerts, random notifications. And what's worse? None of it is theirs. It's other people's priorities, other people's emergencies. By the time they finish scrolling, they've already lost the most valuable part of their day, the beginning. And here's what we don't realize, that early chaos sets the emotional tone. It's like pouring anxiety straight into your morning coffee. That's where the daily clarity map changes everything. It's one sheet of paper. That's it. No overthinking, no stickers, no complicated systems, just 4 boxes, each one designed to fight overwhelm before it starts. Box 1. Your top one thing, not 5, not 3, 1. What's the single most important thing you want to move forward today? When you define that, even loosely, your brain starts focusing like a laser. Box 2. Your 3 must-dos. These are bite-sized wins. Tasks that are meaningful, but doable. You're not trying to conquer the world. You're building momentum. Box 3. Your emotional focus. This one might sound soft, but it's not. Ask yourself, how do I want to feel today? Not what you want to do, what you want to feel. Calm, curious, confident. That one word becomes a North Star. Box 4. Today's win, pre-written. This is where the magic happens. You write, today will be a win if, and you finish the sentence. If I call mom. If I move my body for 10 minutes. It's a mental contract, and it shifts your day from being outcome-obsessed to being intention-driven. Here's the real trick. You fill this out before you touch your phone, before the world starts talking. That one act, paper before pixels, resets the day. This is not about being hyper-productive. It's about being clear. The daily clarity map doesn't overload you. It frees you. It shrinks the chaos and centers your focus in under 5 minutes. And some days, that's all the structure you need. Let's talk about urgency. Because urgency is the great thief. It feels like progress. It feels like action. But so often, it's just motion without meaning. Ever get to the end of the day, mentally drained, and still feel like nothing real got done? Like you were busy every hour, constantly answering emails, replying to messages, fixing little fires, but you didn't actually move forward on anything that mattered to you? That's not laziness. That's urgency hijacking your attention. Because here's the hard truth. What's loud isn't always what's important. Enter the Eisenhower matrix. A tool so old school it looks like it came from a military war room. But don't let its simplicity fool you. This one page can redefine how you make decisions. Here's how it works. You draw a big plus sign on a piece of paper. You've now got 4 boxes: urgent and important. Crisis, deadlines, immediate problems, not urgent but important. Strategy, growth, relationships, wellness. Urgent but not important. Distractions disguised as duties, neither urgent nor important. Time wasters. We all know them. Now, take your to-do list for the day. Or the week. Or just everything that's buzzing around your brain right now. One by one, drop each item into the quadrant where it belongs. What you'll notice, almost instantly, is where your energy is leaking. Most of us live in the urgent but not important zone. That's where productivity goes to die. It's the zone of reactive living. Saying yes to emails, last-minute favors, tasks that feel good to check off, but leave no lasting value. Now look at the not urgent but important box. That quiet little space, that's your gold mine. That's your deep work, your health, your goals, your real life. Draw a circle around it. Bold. Maybe even a star. Because that's where your future is being built. Silently, consistently, and usually ignored. I do this exercise every Sunday. It takes 5 minutes, 1 page, 0 fluff. But the clarity it gives? Laser sharp. Because once you see where your time is going, you start choosing where your life is going. Let's be honest, we all love the idea of habits. New habits make us feel like we're becoming the person we want to be. Healthier, more focused, more intentional. But here's the pattern. We get excited. We make a long list. We stick with it for a few days, maybe a week. Then life gets messy, and we miss a day, then 2, then we quit. And quietly, in the back of our mind, we start to tell ourselves the story we've told before. I just don't have discipline. I always fall off. But what if the problem wasn't you? What if the problem was your system? That's where the micro-habit tracker changes everything. It's designed to be failure-proof. 1 page, 1 week at a time. Each habit gets its own row. Each day gets a tiny checkbox. That's it. And here's the golden rule. Keep every habit under 2 minutes. Yes, 2 minutes. That's not laziness. That's strategy. Drink a glass of water. Stretch for 60 seconds. Write 1 sentence. The point isn't intensity, it's consistency. Because habits don't stick when they're hard. They stick when they're easy enough to do on your worst day. The micro-habit tracker lowers the barrier so much you can't fail, even if you're tired, stressed, or totally unmotivated. But here's the kicker. You're not tracking to be perfect. You're tracking to notice patterns. Most people fall off and assume it's because they're lazy. But when your habits are on paper, something fascinating happens. You notice you always skip your reading habit on Fridays, or you tend to break your evening routine when you have late meetings. Now, that's not a personal flaw. It's data. You're no longer judging yourself. You're studying yourself. And after just 1 week, you'll know your own rhythms better than you ever have. You'll start designing habits that work with you, not against you. 1 sheet, 1 week, no pressure, no perfection, just progress. In your real, messy life. That's the power of the micro-habit tracker. And it starts with 1 box and a pen. This next tool, it's the one that saved me from burnout. Not figuratively, literally. Because here's a truth we don't talk about enough. Most people aren't struggling with time management. They're struggling with emotional energy management. You've probably had days where everything looked fine on the outside. You hit your deadlines, answered the emails, checked the boxes. But inside, you were exhausted, done, disconnected from yourself. And the scary part is, that kind of depletion doesn't always show up immediately. It builds quietly, day after day, until you wake up and realize you don't feel like yourself anymore. That's where the emotional audit sheet becomes a game changer. It's not dramatic. It's not therapy. It's not another gratitude list. It's just awareness, broken into 3 brutally honest questions. What drained me today? What energized me? What did I avoid? That's it. 3 prompts, 1 page. Takes less than 2 minutes, but it teaches you so much. You start noticing things you've never named before. That certain meetings leave you tense for hours. That scrolling social media makes your brain feel static and foggy. Or on the flip side, that taking a walk after dinner actually gives you a second wind. Or that even 5 minutes of music, journaling, or laughter refuels you like nothing else. And here's what's powerful. Once it's written down, it's not a feeling anymore. It's data. You're not just living reactively anymore, you're becoming a quiet observer of your inner world. And from there, everything changes. Because when you know what drains you, you can start setting boundaries. When you know what energizes you, you can build rituals around it. And when you see what you keep avoiding, that's usually where the most healing and growth lives. 1 page, 3 questions, every evening. It's not about fixing yourself, it's about listening to yourself. And once you start listening, you begin to lead your life from a completely different place. Not from pressure, not from panic, but from clarity. This final tool, it's not a daily practice. It's what I turn to when I feel off. Not overwhelmed exactly, but adrift. Like I'm getting things done, checking boxes, staying on schedule. But somewhere along the way, I lost track of why. That's where the 1-page life compass comes in. It's not a planner, it's not a life map. It's a reset button, a mirror, a conversation with your deeper self, all on one simple page. It's built around 4 deceptively simple prompts. But don't let their simplicity fool you. Each one has a way of getting under the surface. Prompt 1. What do I want more of? This isn't just about goals. It's about energy. What lights you up lately? What fills your lungs when you think about it? Maybe it's peace, or creativity, or physical movement. Your answer reveals your longings and your direction. Prompt 2. What do I want less of? This is where you get real. What's been weighing on you? Maybe it's screen time, drama, noise, busyness without meaning. Naming it makes it easier to release. Prompt 3. What am I avoiding? This one stings, because usually what we're avoiding is the very thing we need to face. The hard conversation, the unfinished project, the uncomfortable truth. Writing it down is the first step in removing its power. It's not weakness, it's awareness. Prompt 4. What do I already have that I'm not using? This is the magic, because often the answers we're searching for are already in our lives, just dormant. Maybe it's a skill, a connection, a tool, a book on your shelf you haven't opened. Maybe it's time you already have but haven't claimed. This question reframes your world from lack to abundance. Taken together, these 4 questions create your compass. Not to tell you exactly where to go, but to gently remind you what matters most. I do this quarterly, or anytime I feel misaligned. And the clarity it brings? Quiet, deep, centering. This isn't about life plans. It's about life presence. You don't need a coach or a guru, you just need a pen and your own truth, and 1 sheet of paper to hold it. Here's the crazy part in all of this. Not one of these tools costs more than a single sheet of paper. There are no apps to download, no paid subscriptions, no productivity cults, no 12-step programs, just ink, space, and your attention. And that's the quiet brilliance of it. We live in a world that tries to convince us that transformation requires intensity. Hustle, harder. But often the biggest shifts, they come from the smallest systems. A daily box, a weekly question, a quiet moment of noticing. Because clarity isn't a lightning strike, it's something you practice. And 1 page at a time, you start to come back to yourself. So here's your challenge, and it's simple. Pick one of these tools, just one. Print it out, use it tonight. See how it fits into your real, messy, beautiful life. And if it brings you even a sliver of clarity, I'd love to hear about it. Drop a comment below. Hit that like button so more people can find this. And if you want more tools like this, the kind built for real humans and not robots, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for spending this time with me. You've got more power than you think. And sometimes all it takes to unlock it is 1 piece of paper. 1 question, 1 choice.